Hi, my name's Steve Wakefield and welcome to this section on leadership on the website coachingforbusinesses.com. Well, what we're going to look at now is understanding yourself, and what does that mean? Why should we need to look at understanding ourselves if we're going to be leading people? Well, it's important because if you know where to go and you know roughly in what direction you're going, how can you measure how you're getting there if you don't understand where you're coming from? Understanding yourself is extremely important. So in this section we're going to look at a number of things. We're going to look at your belief system and your values. We'll look at Maslow's theory of motivation. We'll look at your conscious brain and your subconscious brain. And finally we'll look at one of the things you'll see on the website and in the book is the wheel of business life, and now that will help you get an understanding of where you are. First of all, let's look at the belief system and what your belief system and your values are. Everybody's got different belief systems and different values. We all see the world through our belief systems and values. That's how we assess things. That's how we make decisions based on what we understand. Now, my beliefs might be different from your beliefs, so we can be presented with the same facts but come to a different conclusion because inside we believe things that are different. I'll give you an example of how to get to your belief systems and what's important to you. Close your eyes and imagine that you're lying down in bed and you're 100 years old. Now you've no idea how long you've got left, but you know it's not that long anymore. And your great-grandchildren walk through the door to come and see you. And you're talking, and one of the great-grandchildren says to you, you know, I'm really stuck in my life at the moment. I don't know where I'm going. Can you give me some advice as how to live my life? Now, what advice would you give to your great-grandchild? I'm pretty sure one of the things you wouldn't say is, spend more time at the office. I've read lots, and not one person has ever said that. So what is it you would say to that grandchild? Think about it, because they're your values, they're your beliefs. They really are. So that's it. It gives you a good understanding of who you are inside. I mean, we all have needs as we go through life, and Maslow in the 1940s came out with his theory of motivation. It's a pyramid, and we all start with the bottom layer, and there are 7 layers all the way through. Maslow initially said that you need to achieve everything on one level before you move to the next. But later he said, well, actually you don't. You need to achieve most of them and be aware of the ones that you haven't achieved and are moving towards them before you move up to the next level. The first level is all to do with your biological and physiological needs. So that's, warm food, drink, shelter. It's that kind of thing. The next level is all to do with safety, and that's law. You need law and order and stability and security. You need to feel that you're secure before you can move on to the third level, which is all about love and belongingness. Love is intimacy, it's friendships, it's developing trust with people. And belongingness is all about belonging to a group, feeling that you're part of a social group. And that's the third level. The fourth level is all about esteem, and it's actually starting to more about self and self-esteem. It's acquiring and being seen internally. You actually see yourself as a master at something, an expert at some field. It doesn't have to be intellectual, it could be anything, but you feel that you're very good at something. And also status is important at this level, because you're the peer group, the social group that you mix with actually see you in that light as well. They'll give you some status, some prestige. And that's really important at the fourth level. The fifth level is where we start to think, and that's the cognitive level. And that's really a thirst for knowledge, exploration. You're curious about things. You actually actively go out and seek to learn things, and that's, knowledge is very important. Exploring new places is really important to you. Once you've achieved that level, then aesthetics come. Is the penultimate level, the sixth level. Aesthetics is all about seeing beauty and form, and wanting more of that. It doesn't have to be something visual. It could be something that you hear. It could be, going to the theatre, or going to an opera, or orchestra, or it could be modern day music. But it's something that you strive to get more of. The beauty of, you see beauty in things where you hadn't seen beauty in them before. And the final tip of the pyramid, and one that Maslow said, in his opinion, only 2% of people that have ever lived have achieved self-actualization, and that's realizing that absolutely true top potential. We're all striving to get there. And really, when you look at level 5, the cognitive way, where it's thirst for knowledge, that could well be on our way up towards self-actualization, but actually meeting the true potential. Very, very few people have achieved that, but it's knowing that is there, knowing that's the peak, and knowing that's where we can strive to. I think is important. So we've looked at the belief systems, we've looked at Maslow's theory of motivation, but what about how we work on a daily basis? And this is how our conscious and subconscious brain works. When we look at it, I'll give people an example. When they're driving a car, when they first learn to drive a car, how difficult it is driving a car. You get in, you've got all the instruments, you've got steering wheel, you've got pedals, you've got gear sticks, you've got things going on outside, cars going past one way, other cars, cyclists, pedestrians, signs that you've got to actually think about it. So much that you've got to take in all at once, and your conscious brain struggles to do that. You'll find yourself very tired and doing things like steering in the wrong direction while you're changing gear, or happens all the time to people who are learning. But then it gets easier and easier and easier as you practice more. Why? Because a lot of what you're learning, all the mundane stuff, goes into your subconscious brain. So your subconscious brain now takes over doing the mundane tasks, while your conscious brain is focusing on things that need your immediate attention, to such a degree that sometimes when you've completed a journey, you wonder how you got there, because you can't remember getting there. You can't remember any of the points on the way. You just remember getting to the office, or getting home, or wherever you're going on your journey. And that's where your subconscious brain has taken you, and your conscious brain has been focused on things that are more important to you at the time. But the reason I say that is because that's also what happens at work. We get to a new job, a new career. Again, we're focused on everything. And then as days go by, as things constantly happen, we start to put things into our subconscious. As an example, you'll get to work and you'll sit down, and your first activities will be a coffee, reading some email, going through some things, maybe meeting somebody at the coffee machine, walking, talking to people, or it may be it's Thursday, so I have to start to write a report. There's your subconscious brain in action. You're carrying through things that you do every day, and this leads to what they term a glass ceiling. And that's where you get to a point where everything seems to stagnate. You can't progress. And one of the reasons for this is that your subconscious is running everything that you're doing most of the day. So have a look at that, understand how much of your day is being run like that, and then look at some of the other things on the website and in the book to do with decision making, active listening, and powerful questions, and that'll give you a way. Oh, and goal setting, of course, and that'll give you a way of breaking out of this glass ceiling, so that you can achieve more, and use your conscious brain a lot more. Another thing we look at is the IQ versus EQ. An IQ is your intelligent quotient, and that's where your spatial awareness, your language skills, numerical skills and problem solving skills are looked at, and you're rated, 100 being the average. Below that you're below average, and above that you're above average. So people look at their IQ a lot, and that's seen as a sign of intelligence. What people don't look at, but what leaders are very good at, is the EQ, the emotional quotient, and that's the empathy, understanding people, understanding their moods that they're in, feeling their moods, having people come to them because they need advice, as well as going to other people, reaching out to people, and people reaching to them. Emotional quotient is something that good leaders have in abundance. So, again, have a look at how you can improve that, and it really is a matter of reading, of listening to people, of having conversations with people, of understanding that you can talk about feelings, and people can talk about feelings to you. The empathy side, that's important. And finally, let's look at the wheel of life, or wheel of business life, as we've got here. The wheel of business life is there for you to print out and then put where you are in each of the 8 sections. I won't go through them now, but have a look, be honest with yourself. You don't have to share it with anybody else. Just go through and put where you are. That'll give you a very good understanding of some of the strengths that you have, and where you can actually work on some of the ones that are not quite so strong. Be honest, because it's important, because that'll give you a really, really good idea. If you put that together with everything else that we've discussed today, your belief systems, where you are in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, understanding your conscious and subconscious brain, looking at your EQ versus your IQ, and that will give you a really good idea of who you are. All the best of luck, and carry on with the with all the different sections on the website, or go to Amazon and get the book. So You Want to Be a Leader. Fantastic. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in another section. Bye.